Hello everyone and welcome to the May edition of our Greater Vancouver Market Update. Our goal here as always is to bring you unbiased, unspun information concerning the Greater Vancouver real estate market. If you enjoy this content and find it valuable, please like, share, hit that subscribe button down below to make sure you stay on top of all future episodes. All right, the shift in the market that I've been talking about for the last several months is finally starting to show in the numbers. We must be in a balanced market by now, right? Let's take a closer look at the numbers and find out. Let's get into it by looking at the latest monthly stats for April, starting with the sales figures. As you can see, there were 3,232 transactions recorded last month, which represents a 25% month-over-month drop from March. Now, year over year, the decrease was even higher, coming in at just over a 34% drop. As significant as that is, we have to keep a couple things in mind. One, last year was a record-breaking year in terms of sales volume. We're talking all-time highs. And two, looking at this from a historical perspective, this past April's sales volume was still 1.5% above the 10-year average for the month. Next, let's take a look at the total number of listings, something that has been a huge problem throughout the pandemic. And would you look at that? All of a sudden, our inventory level has jumped to the highest amount since last September, and a number that has been steadily rising for 5 consecutive months now, with another 15% jump month over month in April. So, with sales dropping and inventory rising, for the first time in what seems like forever, a pressure valve of sorts has been opened up and some steam has finally been let out of the market. And this is reflected in our months of inventory, which also hit the highest point since last September, coming in at 2.7 MOI. But again, perspective is everything. And yes, the market is slowing. Yes, inventory is going up while sales begin to sputter. But anything below 4 months of inventory is still a seller's market. So although we are seeing some prices come off of their peak where they were at in February and March, we need to be above 6 months of inventory to see significant downward pressure on prices that would be reflected in this type of data. So because we are still in a seller's market, the official HPI price index rose a little further last month, reaching 1.37 million, an increase of about 1%. But because we are itching closer to balanced market territory of 4 to 6 months of inventory, prices aren't taking the big jumps we were seeing over the last several months. So, what's causing this slowdown? No, it's not the window dressing policies in the federal budget and the pretend we're doing something foreign buyer ban that has just about every possible exemption that somebody could think of in it. For me, it's rising interest rates without question. So the 5 major banks have been quietly raising their fixed rates for some time now, and they've been doing so at the fastest rate in history, which is now starting to lower a purchaser's qualifying amount because of the stress test. The way the stress test works is that buyers need to qualify for their purchase at either the 5.25 benchmark rate set by OSFI or by the rate that their bank offered them plus 2%, whichever is higher. So we are now in the territory of these rate increases starting to affect how much people can qualify to borrow. And this past month, the Bank of Canada raised their overnight rate by 0.5 percentage point, with another 50 to 75 basis point increase expected in June. This past week, RBC, TD, BMO all once again raised their 5-year fixed rates, which now hover at around 4.5%. Now, that's their posted rate, and you will likely get a discount off of that. But even at 4.1 or 4.2%, if you add the 2%, you now have to qualify at 6.1 or 6.2% if you want a fixed rate. That's definitely not insignificant. But again, perspective, variable rates are still below pre-pandemic levels, at least for now. So it's important to have that perspective and not get overwhelmed by the headlines. So, what does this all mean from a boots on the ground perspective? Well, what we are starting to see on a regular basis is offer dates failing. The most common strategy in a busy market is to put the property up, have showings throughout the week and weekend, then look at accepting offers the following week on either a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And the point of that is to get as many people through the door before looking at any offers and hopefully get multiple offers in a bidding war. Whereas now, those offer dates are coming around and sellers are not getting any offers. Some that have priced aggressively still are, but from what I've been personally seeing with the buyers that I've been working with over the last several weeks is that offer dates are actually failing more times than not at this point. And the trouble is that sellers are looking at comparables from February and March and expecting at least those prices. So even if they get 1 or 2 offers, those offers are not meeting their expectations and they end up not accepting any of them. Then after their offer date has passed, they raise their price to where their expectations are. Now, from my experience, when a market begins to shift like this, first comes some shock, then sellers will begin to pull back and start pulling listings off the market because they can't get what they were promised by their listing agent. And over time, reality settles in and things begin to stabilize. The people that really need to sell will adjust their price expectations, and over the course of several months, if inventory levels continue to drastically outpace sales volume, then we will start to see changing pricing trends show up in the stats. But stats are a lagging indicator, and it takes several months for pricing trends to be accurately reflected in the monthly data. Now, call me crazy, but I still believe housing should be about putting a roof over your family's head first and foremost. And when we look at it from that more human angle, it really helps to put all this other stuff into perspective. All right, that's it for me for this month. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you right back here in about a month's time. Have a great rest of May, everyone. Bye-bye for now.